And we're live. Wow, I forgot how far back the camera was. There we go. And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Today is May the 21st. I hope everyone's having a great day. And I know that there was a lot of people. I heard that the turnout at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest was really good. So I hope everyone here that was able to go had an awesome time and a safe trip there and a safe trip back. I didn't really know much of what was potentially coming out, and there was a lot of really cool printers and projects and stuff that were sort of released or showcased there that I'm pumped for. LDO had, I think, 3 different things. There was the tool changer, tool head kit that they were working on. There was the box turtle all-wheel drive printer with the heated chamber. I think it had a heated chamber. And then I saw another like largely CNC'd machine that I don't know the name of offhand right now, but there was just a bunch of really cool stuff that came out. So even if you didn't go, hopefully there will be coverage. I was debating at one point just doing a like summary of things that I saw online, but I figured that with how many content creators usually go to these events, that somebody is going to probably cover a lot of these cool things. So hopefully if you haven't seen them, there will be a video out in the next week or 2 that will cover some of those awesome projects. So let's see who's all here today. We got Delmar here, GPs, Gulak is here, 1060, how's it going? Jose RS, Iconic in the house, Maker Viking, how's it going? Alan Hasios, I saw your comment. The bed is leveled if you close your eyes and turn your head to the side a little bit. Let's see, Clownhammer's here, Raven Keeper, how's it going? Birdman, hello. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing awesome. Let's see, was there anything comment-wise? Was born on a Friday, how's it going? Tuxedo, how you doing? GPs said LDO all-wheel drive and stealth changer soon. That's freaking awesome. Blue stealth changer there was a 350 frame, 300 plate with LDO all-wheel drive and stealth changer 6 tool kit. Nice. There's a photo of my V0 in the live stream chat on Discord. I will take a quick look. Hey, William, how's it going? Let's see this V0. Nice. Here, I'll post a photo of it. Nice, man. You just got it this last week, right? So you've been busy. You've been busy building it. Have you ran much as far as prints go on it yet? Or are you still kind of going through the final stages of all the calibration? Congrats, though. That's freaking awesome. It's such a fun build and just a really cool printer. Got it Thursday. Okay, yeah, you've been busy. You've been busy, man. I dropped one of the deposition sound speaker. No, Alan. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I've been known to be fairly clumsy myself, so I can't say that I probably wouldn't have done maybe the same thing. Delmar says my dragsters took first and second, dude. That's sweet. So you were obviously there. I couldn't remember who all said they were going or wasn't going. Hey, Beads. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Did anyone say rigged? I feel like someone had to have. Lord Git, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. Cheers. For anyone that didn't remember, I was gone in Chicago. So my cousin, she got married 9 months ago, but it was sort of like a destination wedding. So this was the big reception thing in Chicago. So I flew out, Aaron and me flew out on Thursday, and we were supposed to get to Chicago at 12:30, but Boise doesn't have a lot of direct flights. So we had to go from Boise to Portland, which is the opposite direction. And then when we were waiting for our flight, apparently the 2 pilots that were coming in that were supposed to fly our plane had to emergency land, is what the lady said. And so they never made it to the airport. So then we had to wait 3 hours for reserve pilots, which was fun. And then when we boarded, there was some sort of communications issue with the plane. So then maintenance had to come out. So we didn't get to Chicago until probably like 4:15 Friday morning. And then my parents picked us up, took us back to the Airbnb, and it was a really long weekend. So I feel good. I'm back. But still kind of trying to get my head on straight after just the travels and stuff. Alan with the 2 years. That is freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Alan, for all the support, buddy. Cheers. Drove around STL Rich for the win. Nice. Too far away. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense, Viking. Is anyone here going to the Japan RepRap Festival? It's like in June. I'm definitely not going this year, but Japan is way up there on my list of places to visit, so I'm hoping that maybe next year, as long as when I talked to the person that was putting it on, they had mentioned that their goal was to make it a, I think a yearly thing. We'll see if that happens. I know, like, wanting to do something and actually doing something are two different things, but if it ends up being an every year thing, I'd love to go. Did the pilots make it? The pilots that were supposed to fly our plane, I have no idea what happened. And I don't know if the emergency landing, like, the lady didn't give me much detail. I have no idea whether it was, like, weather related, if there was a medical emergency on the plane. Like, she didn't say really, I don't know if it's confidential or what, but she didn't tell me that. She just basically said they had to make a landing somewhere else. So, hey Steve, hey Eric. So let me quickly bring everybody up to speed on this. This is the ProForge 300 tool changer that we've been working on. This is the 5th stream on it. Last week we were doing the gantry stuff, so we mounted all 4 of the all-wheel drive motors, we mounted the rails, and we were starting to work on the tool head, but we ran into an issue. So I reached out. I've been basically reaching out almost every stream with feedback on things that I felt like worked well and things that I'm like, some questions. So one question a lot of people had was regarding the rails. So I don't know if I zoom in, you can't really see it from there. So I don't have the camera on stilts right now, so I'll just kind of pan this a little bit. So the rails are basically held on GPs. Thank you for the 20 months. Missed a few streams you made. Yes, we've been, believe it or not, squirrely me, even with all the distractions, we've been kind of kicking butt on this build. So I hope you're doing good. Yeah, I noticed, I think you dropped in like briefly for one of them, but I hope everything's going well, that you're just busy. I think if I remember, for one of the streams, you were in a different country for work. I believe we talked about that, like after work you were able to do some stuff. So one of the things a couple people pointed out was that it was kind of weird how the rails were mounted. So basically it's hard to say whether this is X or Y, because it's the way that the tool head is mounted. This is technically Y, but it is, wait. Yes, but it's like in the position of X with the printer. So I don't know whether to call it X or Y, so we'll just call it Y. But basically for the Y, it's just mounted with these 2 aluminum CNC parts. And a few people had commented about like, oh, it's kind of weird, I don't really love that. And I had mentioned that, like, I don't know that I love it, but I don't really have any complaints, it's just different. And so I did ask, I said, hey, I've had a few people kind of asking about what's the deal with like the rail mounts instead of having them just mounted on the extrusions. And I was told that the reason why they mounted the rails like this was so that way it's easier to enclose, or like that it's enclosable. Now, I'm sure that there's other ways that this could have been done and still make it enclosable. Like if the rails were on this inner lip, then I think it wouldn't have affected it, but I don't know. But basically, these little metal brackets bring in the rails ever so slightly, so that way the panels can sit flush against the outer extrusions. So I at least wanted to mention that. Tuxedo, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Happy hump day, everyone. Happy Wednesday, all. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing, which was really the big issue that stopped us, was the stripped out threads on this. So this is sort of like the tool attaching and detaching a little CNC part. Well, it's pretty thick. And it goes through I think there were 2.5 M2.5 screws. Go through here, through some standoffs, and they threaded into these little 2 holes on here that have threads, but the threads only go halfway through this part. And the instructions do mention, like, be careful, it's easy to strip. So I went into it knowing that, hey, it's probably something I need to be careful with, and it stripped so easily. So there's a comment on the instructions for this saying that if you strip it, you can use M2.5, I think it was by 40 millimeter screws and nylon lock nuts instead. And so I reached out and basically said, hey, since I've stripped this and Taylor or Nero or Kanik had stripped his, like, it seems like this is really easy to strip. Is there any reason, other than for aesthetic purposes, that we're using these threads and not just defaulting to the lock nuts? And I was basically told that moving forward, they're going to be defaulting to just having M440 screws and lock nuts, and not, I don't know if this will still be threaded because they've got a batch of them, or if eventually they'll just make them through hole, but they are changing that because it just, like, if you have it with M40s and nylon lock nuts, it feels like that's how it's supposed to be. But if you have threads that you strip out and have to order them, it feels like it's like something's wrong with the design. So I'm glad that they are going that route, because it just, if it doesn't block anything and it's purely an aesthetic thing, I would much rather have a slight bit more of function over form any day of the week. So I did want to update on that because I did get feedback. So that's really it. So easy to strip threads and sheet metal. Yeah, and also I'd mentioned, but like the threads only go halfway through this, and I think we measured it. I think it was 3.75 approximately. So it's like 1. Oh, math, 3.75 divided by 1.8. I mean, it's less than 2 millimeters. Let's just go with that. So, yeah. Hey, Deanna, how's it going? So yeah, we are going to continue today on Gantry. My dream is to get done with all the Gantry stuff and see where we're at that point. The next big thing is basically just going to be building multiple of the same tool heads since this is a tool changer. So let's go ahead and get it started. I don't know why my throat is already dry. I was socializing at the wedding all weekend, and then my in-laws and sister-in-law were here. They flew out from California and Arizona to watch the house and watch Jackson while we were gone. So not yesterday. The day before was a lot of like running around with them because we only had one day with them since, you know, they were here while we were gone. Okay, so let me find the standoffs for this. These are 30 millimeter spacers, and I believe these are the 2 that I put back in the bag. I will really quickly verify that that is the case. Yep, these are definitely the spacers we need, so I will just drop these here. And then I bought, if we end up shipping, yeah, 2.5. So I did end up buying, let's just go this. We ordered this. I'm glad I ordered it when I did. I think I ordered it on stream right when we stripped them, because I was like, I need to order these now so that way when I get back from Chicago, they'll be here. And that's exactly what happened. So let's see. The 40s. Oh, that's right. These always have tape on them. Put this here. Can't believe we're already like, I feel like we just hit May. It feels like we just hit May. I remember saying this is the last stream of the month, and it's already the 21st. So we've got this week's stream, next week's stream, and then it's June. I don't understand. I don't understand where the time is going. Okay, so let me take out my little measuring tool here. These are too short, so maybe these are the... Hey, Steve's in the house. Steve with the, is that 3 years? 3 freaking years. All right, Steve, you get air horn, cheers, squirrel, Hadouken. Thank you so much for all the support, Steve. I hope you were able to get that rest last night. I know Steve was at, for anyone that went to Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, no, but Steve was there, and I think he said he just got back last night since he was driving, so I'm sure that he is feeling a little post con exhaustion. Hey Steve, I didn't tell you this, but it's actually I saw one of, I think it was either Joe or Jeremy, no, Joe or Josh, that did the Lightburn talk, posted a photo of the audience, and in our like work Slack, and I saw you in there going like this, and I was like, oh, Steve's there, he's watching. I think it was Joe's talk, the one that was on like, was it 3D to CNC, or I don't remember what I was traveling during that time, so I only I didn't catch the exact details of the talk. It's called Getting Old. Time goes by faster. Yeah, my whole life, my parents were pretty much telling me, you know, oh, it goes by so quick, and here I am, and I'm like, yeah, it really freaking does. Okay, so we are going to be, let me see if I can set up a camera for you guys. A little awkward, but I think if I turn this, let me move this out of the way. I think if I turn the printer, it's heavy, it's getting heavy, but it's not like unbearable yet, so I can still sort of move this thing around for you all. Let's move this to right here. My goal is to not put camera on stilts today, so hopefully we can get away with just kind of like down up shots and side shots. So let's see if we go like that, and I zoom in, there we go. Okay, so we are taking this bracket, and the screws are going through here, I think. Yeah, through that hole on here, through that hole on here. And then we should have 2 long standoffs that are going to slide over these. Like that. It's like this. Joe's talk, yeah. Joe loves doing like presentations, and he's really good at them. He's really passionate about like just making in general. So, okay, so even though our threads are stripped, they're still threads. So I probably am gonna have to use. Is this the right size? No, it's a 2mm driver. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can get these started. Such an awkward angle for me. There we go. Okay, that one looks like it's at least a little bit in. Hello. Okay, there we go. So we will just thread these screws all the way through. They should be spinning. Spin, spin, spin. Of course, that one's not, but whatever. Take care when tightening another strip. Yeah, we're aware. We already stripped them. The threads on the screws are probably okay. It's the threads on the sheet metal that strip. It's funny because this is actually like, it's holding much better now. But we're still gonna move forward with the lock nuts just to make sure. I don't really trust these threads to hold very well. No Loctite. No, we're doing nylon lock nuts on these GPs because we stripped. We even though it's not looking like it's stripped now, trust me, it's stripped. So yeah, if we weren't doing the nylon lock nuts, then absolutely I'd be using Loctite on this. So let's get these started. Yeah, we did initially have Loctite on these when we were... Oh, wait, this isn't going to work, is it? Oh, shoot. Silly me. Okay. This is... I'm so used to using lock nuts that are M3, not M2.5, so let's see. I'll use these little Nipix pliers. Matt, thank you so much for the gifted membership, man. Cheers, buddy. How are you doing? Looks like TJ got the membership. Yeah, no, it's a good, I mean, there's plenty of times I do silly things, GPs, so if there's a thing where you're like, hey, that probably needs Loctite, I am all for the reminder. So let's see, is this the right size? It's probably still a little too small. For some reason these Nipix are sticking. Okay, let's try that. So we will get them started by hand. Ideally, I would like to just hold these in place with the... Man, the bed's kind of up high too, so it makes it even more awkward. So let's see, if I hold this like this. Okay. Am I able to just tighten this and have it go? Of course, today it's like, yeah, great. Yeah, the, I don't know if it's these, it's so awkward. Here we go. Let's try it like this. If I turn this, I think I need to drop the bed a little bit. It's just really awkward because I can't, here, I'm just manually move the bed. I haven't been around much, still hanging out. Hey, no worries, dude. Life happens, man. I get it. No explanation needed. I just hope everything's going all right with you. But yeah, no, I believe me, I can understand getting busy with life stuff. No big deal. 3D printing and the channel, we are not going anywhere. So it's nice to have everyone around when they can make it, but when they can't, that's totally understandable. Hey, nice. Small drive metric sockets. That might need to be my next investment as far as tool pickups go. Yeah, because this is, I was anticipating that these screws were just going to be spinning, right? Like they were doing last week, which would make this so much easier if I could just hold the lock nut in place. Is this spinning? Like I almost want to, let's see. I'm gonna really quickly just move this, change camera because it's just a really awkward angle, and see if I tighten them hard, if I can just strip out those threads a little bit more, because it would make it a lot easier if I could just hold the Knipex pliers. There we go. Okay, that one's definitely now, we've fully stripped it. Okay. Strip engaged. All right, now I should be able to just, this is what I thought I was gonna be doing, but I think that the initial screws didn't go in very far. And so we had stripped like some of the threads, but not all the threads. That's probably, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me as to why it was the way that it was. Hey, you fixed it. Nice, man. Run the screw in with an impact gun. That wasn't, I don't think, necessary. How did you get it fixed? Okay, now I just need to figure out how to grip this from this awkward angle. Come on, Daniel. Maybe like this. This will work. There we go. Okay, now I can just tighten this. There we go. That's how I pictured this going. Not dropping the driver though. You just small metrics. Yeah, I do. If you have a recommended set on like Amazon Tuxedo that you want to link me to, I will order them after this. It's one of those things where I won't think about it again after this stream until we're in another situation like this where I'm like, oh no, I need those. Okay, so that seems plenty tight. We should have one more lock nut somewhere. I might have launched it somewhere while doing this, so let's, if we don't find it really quickly here, I'll just grab another one. Serves you right. Was probably where it probably has some nice ones. I replaced the linear. Okay, got it. So you did replace the linear motor. So they sent out a replacement then. Okay, so let's get this one started with our fingers. Again, I realize I'm blocking the camera pretty hard here. Okay. Maybe. There we go. Did you talk to them? Because you said you thought that it was maybe heat related, right? Like the chamber heat is what caused issues with it, nice? Are you going to not get the chambers hot? Or are you just gonna go at it again and see if it happens again? And see if it was maybe more of like just a fluke with the first one. Okay, that's in. That is in. We've got our little tool. I can show you guys this piece, but it very much so looks like what I remember seeing from sort of the, well, I think someone mentioned it, but basically the E3D and Jubilee type setup. Let me drop this a little bit. There we go. All right, so that's in place. Next, we will need Loctite for this. We need M3 by 6mm cap bolts. I don't think there's a whole lot of M3 by 6s yet. Hey, Terminally Chill, how's it going? Hey, Stuart. Happy hump day. Okay. Let's see if I can find, we'll just use this. Put some Loctite on. I like the wraparound mount, looks sturdy. Oh, on this side, yeah. I think it will be. I think it will be nice and sturdy. I'm just excited to like get to the point, even before printing, of like watching it park and pull a tool away. That'll be a very exciting point in this build. Okay, so there's also, you guys can't really see it, but basically there's a through hole right here and a through hole right here, and there's going to be threads in this tool changing piece. So that's what I'm doing right now, is taking little M3 by 6 socket heads, trying not to drop them and get Loctite everywhere. There we go. Okay, and then you're just going in. We'll do, before I tighten it, we'll get the second one in. Going well, got the Zero back up and running thanks to Servo. Oh, nice, that's right. That's right, the firmware. That's what we were talking about last week, was that you had done something with it, and there's the firmware, and you're asking about, I think, flashing it. And I'd mentioned, like, I would just reach out to them. So cool, I'm glad that you got it back up and running. I'll run it, I will run it hot printing a lot of ABS glass fiber for the moment. Okay. Keep us updated, nice. Okay, I think that's probably plenty tight. Okay, so now that is, we got 4 points of securing it, 2 right here and 1 up top, so that's nice and secure. All right, what's next? Master plate, eddy probe. Start by plugging the USB cable from the eddy box into the top of the eddy probe. The cable should route under the spacer. Under the spacer. Ah, got it. Okay, so this is the spacer going through there, so it goes underneath it. And we are using M318. Okay, so let's get the eddy probe out. I'm looking forward to using this because we did take a look at this when it first came out, and I actually have it running on my Enderwire, but it hasn't gotten a whole ton of use, so I am looking forward to actually that's kind of awkward. Let's look at it down here for now. Okay, here. Get out of the way, please. No. I don't know if I can get it out of the way. All right, well, we'll just look at it like this. All right, we got our ducky. We've got the eddy probe. Let's go ahead and open this up. Has anyone built an Ender NG? I have 2 that I'm either going to replace or convert. There was a few people in here talking about them, so I imagine that if they're not here now, that I know Armor has built at least 2. So this says Big Tree Tech Eddy. I think this is the USB variant of it. So it says to plug in the cable. Looks like pins are on the outside, so we'll plug it in like this. Maybe. Why is that so difficult? Our pins look fine. Huh. There we go. I think it was the little JST housing had a little bit of plastic sticking off to the side, so I had to push kind of through it. But there we go. Got our cable, and then it looks like the screws for this probably are going to be one of these 2 sets that are included in here. So it says we need M318 caps. So let me really quickly check. Let me zoom out. There we go. I'm scared of the sensor. I scratched my bed a few times. Oh no. Yeah, did you install on the 2.4 nice? Because I remember back when we were playing around with it, I thought you were installing one on the 2.4. Also, I am starting to sweat, and that doesn't make sense because I have shorts on. I'm gonna lower the air a little bit. Looks like it's at 72. Go down to 70. Okay, so this is saying we need M318. So let's see if one of these sets are 18s. Yes. Okay, so the shorter 2 are the ones we're using. And it looks like, let's see, awkward. Can I get over the top with this or no? No, we're gonna have to go through this. Either through this or from the other side. So for now, we'll go through here. I think that's probably the better angle. Okay, so looks like this is mounting okay, yeah, I thought it was I remember that. I remember it being under 2.4. Okay, so what I don't know, I can't tell. Huh. I can't tell the orientation. Okay, it looks like that. Okay, no, it has to be. So the cable is closest to the changing plate because this looks like this little kind of bevel on it. So it must go like this. So it looks to me like it goes with, this is that bevel I think I was seeing right here on top. So it looks like it mounts like this. And I know it says that it wants it to pass, it looks like this underneath here. So like that. Basically it goes down underneath this little spacer, and it looks like this kind of hole right here is probably where it's gonna pop out from, maybe the cable. So let's just for a second set this down, pass the screw through it like that, and these are gonna be 2.5. Okay, I got the first one started. Second one. Probably would have been easier to load these up, both of them, before. There we go. I got it. Okay, there we go. So I definitely don't want to over tighten this, because it's just a fairly thin plastic housing, but we also don't want this to move around. So let's see. Okay, that feels probably plenty tight. Okay, I don't feel comfortable going tighter than that. Hopefully that's nice and straight. It doesn't look perfectly straight to me. I wonder, hold on. I'm gonna really quickly loosen them again and just see if there's, how much slop there is in this. Okay, so there's quite a bit of wiggle. What do I want to do? If I could level the bed, then I could drop it to the bed. Don't strip it. Yeah. Well, this is thicker. This is thicker. Been following audio on doing sensorless homing using the toolhead ADXL, works well. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. That's really cool. I don't know how much it matters whether this is slightly off as far as left and right. I think I'm just going to do my best to kind of hold it. So that's, to me, such an awkward angle. I think I'm just going to do my best to eyeball it. Let's just slowly tighten it. Hey, Mike. Okay, that looks pretty good. What did Kegel say? Hey, Tiago. Okay, that looks a little better to me. Hey, PC, how's it going, buddy? I think we're just gonna call it good enough. This is another one of those things where I feel like as long as it's relatively straight and the sensor is triggering at the same spot, it's fine. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it like that. That's probably as good as I can get it just by eyeballing it. So, okay. We've got that, and once again, it says to make sure cable's going underneath, which we've got, and it looks like it's gonna end up going through here. Fix the probe to the master plate with two M3 by 18 cap heads. Cool. Okay, servo. Tinkering with my Voron, what else? different day, same stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna get the servo ready. Let's see if I can get you guys set up here. If I zoom in enough, I can hide that cable. There we go. In focus? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so things we need. Number 1, servo. Check. Number 2 is this servo camshaft. It's this guy. I made a lot of progress on my Ender NG. Now it's basically electronics and wiring. Nice. Awesome job, Mike. Your LDO is making monolith. I saw you mention it earlier, but I haven't heard anything of... Wait, actually, did I know that they were making it? Nice. Thank you so much for the gift of memberships, man. Thank you, nice. You know what? I think that I had talked to, when I was talking to the developer of Monolith, I want to say that he had mentioned that he was working with LDO. It's been months though, GPs, so I can't remember for certain, but I want to say I think I knew it was coming, but I hadn't heard anything on it. But they had it there. They were showing it off at the event. It was running fine, so I had to switch. Blackbird now with Nighthawk. Nice. The Nighthawk gets hot quick. Which version of Nighthawk are you running on it? I imagine it's not the Stealth Burner variant, right? It's probably Nighthawk 36. I have one of the initial 36s, but there was issues with them, so I've never used it. And you know, they did a pretty large recall, and I think it was like many months of, let's see, where are the shims? Many months of testing before the new one. So I'm wondering if you have the right one or not. Let's say M5 by 8 by 0.5 millimeter shims. Is that these guys? Let me check these shims really quick. I knew it was a supplier, but didn't know it. Gotcha. Okay, so this looks. The shims don't look exactly right. These are 9mm, not 8mm. The inside's right. It's 5mm, and then thickness is also a little bit short. Pretty sure this is the only bag of, yeah, spacers and shims. So we are probably gonna roll with this because I don't think I actually have. I don't think I have anything else. I'll check one last one. Yeah, these are not 0.5 mil, they're like 0.35. But I believe it's all I've got. If I look in the M5 bag, here, I'll really quickly check the M5 bag just to make sure there's no other shims. Going back to make invoice, but I will listen to live streams. Sounds good, man. Duty calls. I need money for the gift. Oh man, thank you, nice. If you hear anything exciting, I'm sure you'll pop back in. Okay. So that seems like that's everything we probably need. It does say apply grease to both camshafts, so it wants us to have a little bit of grease on here. So we'll start by doing that. We'll just kind of set this up like that. I've got one glove. One doctor glove on. I know everyone likes when the gloves come out. And then I'm just going to, I'm probably just going to do, instead of putting it directly on the shaft, put it on my finger. Hey, Sweetham's in the house. I guess he's gonna have to. Oh no! Thank you for the 22 months. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the bad news. What's going on with it? I've been working on a video, trying to get a video out on Box Turtle, and basically everything firmware related has gone wrong. I had to completely reinstall Clipper from the ground up, and although I had backed up my config, I didn't realize I hadn't backed up my latest config. So now I'm like, great, I've got to, like, even though I have at least a much better starting point than starting from scratch, I still have to do quite a bit of tuning on it. And I'm like, oh my God. I just wanted to do the final steps of getting the Box Turtle going so I can kind of show and talk about the build process. But I guess the printer gods had other plans for me. Hey, John, how's it going? How was Rocky Mountain? You were there, right? I'm pretty sure you were lasering a bunch of stuff. I was traveling. I was actually in your turf, man. I was in Chicago. Okay, so it looks like this just... Is this just a pressure fit? How does this go on? Matt with the 31 months. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. It'll get done next month. You said another shattered XY joint. How's that happening? Okay, so it looks like this is potentially just a... Why is that sticking? It looks like it's potentially just a... Oh, you guys can't see this. Hold on. Zoom out a little bit. Oop, that's the opposite. Oh, there we go. That's a very loose fit. Okay, so it just slides on. It slides on the shaft there. And then this is saying it wants us to add more grease to this. So let's just get a little bit of extra grease that's on our finger and kind of just brush it around here, I suppose. Hopefully that's enough. I wouldn't think we'd need heavy amounts of grease. Sorry, taking the grease off cam. Lasering a bunch of personal... Nice. Was it... Who was it? Was it Comgrow that sponsored the trip and the laser? I don't remember who the laser manufacturer was. Okay, hopefully that's enough. That's a pretty light amount of grease, but... Oh, it's because all this other stuff is going on the shaft. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more just to make sure it's nice and rubbed in. Okay. Hey Liz, how's it going? Are you back home? I assume you're probably back home. It's Wednesday. Yeah, it has. It couldn't take 3 years. 3 years. God, it couldn't have taken 3 days to get back home. You gotta be back home. Lubing the shot. You know me, zombie. I'm sad I didn't get to go, man. Like, I really am. There was so many people that went. So much cool stuff. I didn't realize that you were going so hard with the with your filament, man. I wanted to the shirt and like all the crazy cool prints. It looks like it was a awesome event. Back from Colorado yesterday. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad everybody had such a good time. It looked very cool. Everyone I talked to said that it was a blast. I would be lying if I said it wasn't the best video. Oh man, salt on the wound. Oh. Yeah, it looked epic. Like the amount of people, the things that were there, like it just looked like such a freaking awesome event. Okay, so it looks like we've done this. So we basically placed this guy on there. Everything's just loosely fit right now. And then we're not installing the cam pin yet. So what I don't know is orientation of wires. Okay, so it looks like the servo is facing with the wires upwards. And then we need M4, a bunch of M4 by 6 button heads. So let's start with that. Yeah, I'm bummed, Liz. I was busy. I was in Chicago. My cousin, she got married 9 months ago, but it was just like mom, dad, best friend as sort of like a destination wedding thing. And so the reception was Saturday in Chicago. So Aaron and me flew out on Thursday really late and got to Chicago at like 4:15 in the morning. And then it was like just a close family get together thing Friday night. And then Saturday was the event and Sunday I flew home. So like I couldn't, it was impossible. That doesn't mean I wasn't bummed that I couldn't clone myself. And so it was in Chicago. Yeah. Well, so we stayed at an Airbnb slightly outside of the city. It was in Forest Park, I think is where it was. But we, like, all the events and stuff were in Chicago proper. That's where my cousin lives, in Chicago. And then my aunt lives in Buffalo Grove, her mom. So yeah, Erin had never been to Chicago. So on the Friday, although she wasn't feeling all that hot, before the event, I took her to see the Bean and then the art museum. And then on the last day, we did get Luminetti's pizza. She'd never had like Chicago deep dish in Chicago. So we went with my parents. It was freaking delicious. So we definitely made the most of it. And it was a really fun reception. All right, so what did I say? M46 button heads. So those are going to be little guys. I did see that you were going back on the black box train, zombie. I think yesterday maybe was when you'd mentioned you were starting it up. So I am wishing you all of the luck and good vibes with firmware stuff, man. Okay, so we got our screws. Sweet. Let's go ahead and... Sounds like you're at the high points, although I would have done Genos. I don't think I've ever had Genos. Luminetti's has always been the one that like my family out there has taken us to, so I'll have to try Genos next time. No pineapple pizza. I wasn't gonna go to your turf and disrespect you like that. Considered it. No, we went with the, I think it was called Lou's, so like the Lou's whatever toppings were on that, and then half of it we added pepperoni because I think the Lou's didn't actually have it. It was pretty much just veggies, which I do like, but I wanted at least some pepperonis. Okay, let me back camera off a little bit like that. Probably gonna be a lot of hand shots right now. So we are installing the servo from the back. It looks like the wires are to be facing upward. So hopefully I can just slide this in like that. There we go. That seems like it. Oh, wow. Okay, so the spring gets compressed pretty heavily here when you like there's a gap right now between the servo and the bracket. God, I hope I don't strip out those threads. Let me make sure that the bearing, yeah, bearing's sitting flush. Install the servo mechanism you built in the previous step. Cam pin install the next step. Feed it from behind, ensuring the bearings. I'm a little bit nervous. Let me feel how much. That feels like a lot of pressure. I'm gonna take this back out. I'm wondering if this just isn't sitting correctly. No, that's as far as it goes. And I imagine the spring does need to be compressed, but I'm just nervous. Let me make sure. So there is these little like slits. You can kind of see there's a slit there and a slit on the bottom. And if you look at the servo, there is these little, like where the slits are, those are sticking out. So I do want to make sure that that is lined up, because obviously that would be causing it to stick out a little bit, but it seems like, it still seems like quite a bit of pressure. I mean, that's what it's saying to do. So just use a little, yeah, I'll do them all. Hey, John, I'll do a little bit. All I've got is this crap Detroit pizza. Hey man, pizza's good no matter what. That's not entirely true, but pizza's good. There's different levels, sure, but man, I don't think I have the right driver for this. It's the 3mm that's missing, so we'll probably end up. Oh wait, no, this is a 2.5. This is a 2.5. What am I saying? Because it's a button head. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with one of them, and I'm basically just gonna try to get it in a little bit, and then we'll move on. I'd like to kind of tighten them all. I like to kind of tighten them all at the same time. Yeah, let's do the bottom one now, just because I don't want to put all of the pressure from that string on a single one. Just put a pizza in the oven, so yeah, pizza. Excuse me. Hey, Shrimp Father. Hey, BB's in the house, man. A lot of people today. Last week was a little bit quieter. I think it's because everyone was sort of in crunch time for Rocky Mountain. Okay. do this one. Obviously, because the housing on this servo is plastic, I don't want to over tighten it either, but it's always such a balancing act. I don't know if I even needed Loctite on this because it's plastic into metal, but it won't hurt. Why is this last one not going in? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move camera slightly so I can get a better angle for myself of what I'm doing here. Let me drop you guys a little bit. Boop, and pull you guys up a little bit. There we go. Because I'm kind of going in a little blind here. So let's go ahead. It looks like the servo's actually sitting flush. I really don't want to bend anything. Wait, no, something is not right. This is not right. The bottom, that doesn't make any sense to me. So the bottom of the servo and these little guys, like the little tabs coming off I'm screwing into, are sitting flush. The top has a gap. And that doesn't seem right unless... Okay, there we go. There we go. It needed to be pushed in further. I'm glad we're just doing this part once because it's a little... Okay. That feels... I'm glad I saw that because the servo would have been at an angle and that would have not been good for any sort of repeatability when it came to swapping out tools. That seems plenty tight, probably. That's as tight as I feel comfortable going. And that's as tight as I feel comfortable going. Okay. I'm glad I looked at it a little bit closer because yeah, it was definitely at an angle. That feels much better. All right, so now that we've got that, I will make the printer do a 180 again because we've got to do the cam pin, which is what's going to actually do the twisting to grab the tools. So let's try. That angle looks all right, right? There we go. There's always that always fun OCD. That's what. Cam pin installed. Next step. Install the cam pin with the grub screw. Pressing onto the flat face of the cam pin. Okay, so we have got. I have to find the grub screw apparently, but it came with 2 of these guys. So these are the little. Let me zoom in. This is what we're going to be sliding through. So it's basically just a pin, but we've got that flat section right there, and that's what we want the set screw to tighten down on. Similar to what, we do with pulleys on a stepper motor shaft. So I will, oops, can I spin this right now? Doesn't look like it. This is probably gonna fall right through. Yeah, of course it is. Can I turn this? Sure doesn't seem like it. Okay. Well, that's going to be a little awkward, so what I'm probably going to have to do is... Here, let me find the set screw first. I wish that, like, the holes for this is exactly vertical, so I put this right here, just to show. It falls right through. So I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to get the set screw in there first, so that way it's got a little bit of tension on it. First thing I have to do is find the set screw. It's an M3 by 4. M3. It's probably in a specialty bag because I'm not seeing it. in the M3 bag. Let's see. Cap screw, cap screw, cap screw. We'll change camera to here for a sec. There we go. Yeah, in the M3 hardware bag, there is no set screw, as far as I can see. So there must be another bag that has it. Wouldn't be there, wouldn't be there, wouldn't be there. I don't know where it would be. Oh, here we go. Here we go. M3x4s, right? Yep. Use the included bottle thread locker to ensure the grub screw does not come loose. Okay. Did I set? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So where is our... Here we go. Okay. So we are going to put a bunch of Loctite on this screw, and then it goes in from the front. So I'm just going to start by threading this in. I don't know how far I need to go, so let's just place this like this. It's quite awkward. Okay, so I think I've gone too far already because I cannot get this in. Okay, so I did get it on the flat spot because you can see right now, like I can push it up and it can drop down, but it's not able to go beyond that. So what I don't know is exactly how I'm going to center it. I can definitely eyeball it for right now, but I assume that this probably needs to be pretty precise at some point. So it's a little awkward looking. That's definitely favoring the top. Let's go down just a hair. Still favoring the top, I think. Huh, maybe it's not favoring the top because I can't go down further and stay on that. So let's just leave this for now. I assume that once we start actually testing out the tool changing side of this, okay, there we go. I assume once we start testing out the tool changing side of this that we can make adjustments to it until we're getting, that looks pretty close to center. So yeah, I'll give it a slight turn, but it's a 1.5 millimeter set screw and I definitely don't want to strip it. So we will call that good enough for right this second and revisit it later on. All right, that's done. Next, we're installing an Endstop. So let's get that out. Oops. Let's see. Hold the Endstop cable. Okay. We need, looks like spacers. There they are. These look like cap heads to me. Okay, so we're needing 2.5 by 4 millimeter spacers. I don't think those are in the spacer bag. These are 3 millimeters. Okay. Hopefully it's with the other 2.5 millimeter hardware. Yep, found it. Let's make sure that these screws are the right ones. Maybe the pin floats and the set screw is just to... That's an interesting idea. Or George says maybe the pin floats and the set screw is just to limit its movement. Possible. Install the cam pin with the grub screw, pressing onto the flat piece. Use the included Loctite to ensure the grub screw doesn't come loose. Huh? Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be more explanation once we get further, but that's an interesting, like, potential. It works. Small socket heads with the right size is hard to find. You're better off buying. Gotcha. Buy the sockets individually. You just get you mostly use them tuxedo, then just put them on a driver. Basically a driver with a square end to it that can attach to the sockets. Okay, this is definitely the right stuff. Okay, so where is this going? This is going next to the eddy. Oh, that's going next to the servo. Okay, so let me turn this around. That's right. They're okay. Got it. 1/4 inch. M2.5 nuts need a 4.5mm socket. They're 1/4 inch drive. Got it. So not an Uber, not an Uber. Do you have a recommendation for the driver tuxedo? I would imagine probably Whereas gotta have that. Just a 1/4 inch driver. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So we are going to use some Loctite on this. And this is gonna be interesting to show you guys, but let's see, bring you guys up a little bit. Cool. So the limit switch is just going right here, and it looks like the arm should be like this. And then we're going, so let's do Loctite. Loctite through here. We'll just do, let's try to do both at the same time. Loctite. The nut driver. Yeah, well, I had to use a Nipix like adjustable wrench for 2.5mm nylon lock nuts, which was kind of awkward. I only have a nut driver. Thanks to Steve. He had got me, where is it? One for 3mm screws, or M3 screws. This guy. But Tuxedo was saying I should just get a 1/4 inch driver, basically, that takes sockets, so that way I can just buy the ones that I need for, 2.5, 3, 4, and probably 5mm would be sufficient. Yeah, exactly. I haven't really had to use a whole lot of 2.5mm nuts, really, so this is... But it's one of those things where, like, you don't need it until you need it. So we ended up getting it to work, but there was a moment there where I was like, oh, this is really awkward because I don't have that. Okay, I think this is probably a 2mm. My fingers are going to be blocking this. I'm just going to zoom out so hopefully you can see at least around fingers a little bit. Man, it's going to be actually quite awkward. It's actually really dark for me as well, so it's tough to... Oh no, it's tough to see what I'm doing. Bend these leads. All right, we're dropping our spacers again. M4 nuts need a 7mm. He probably won't use... Yeah, there's not a lot. I think that... I mean, V0 uses 2.5s, right? I think screws at least. Okay, let me concentrate for 1 second here. Where's the freaking hole? There think I got that in. Okay, those at least seem like they're aligned. Now I can just tighten them. And 5 density 8. So you need 4.5, 5.5, 7, and 8 plus a 1/4 inch. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste that tuxedo just so that way. I'm sure a Google search would have just given me all of that, but since you've done the breakdown, I'm just gonna copy and paste that to a text document. Let's see. Cool. Thank you. Alrighty. That's not needing to be on there. Scared to strip anything now, especially with these 2.5mm screws, man. I mean, I guess I could probably do the same thing, right? Where I just use a lock nut again, but okay, that should be plenty tight. Okay, I'm not going tighter than that. Let's just make sure it triggers. It doesn't. Oh wait, hold on. Because I have the stopper on still. Yeah, it does. Cool. There's this little metal, this guy that we built. There we go. Cool. Seems to work fine. Hey, Armor. Someone was asking about Ender 3 NGs earlier, and I said that you've built 2 of them. Was it Matt? Was it Matt you were asking earlier? I don't know if Matt's still in chat. I think it might have been Matt. Giveaway form's not up yet. Giveaway form, so we've been streaming only for 1 hour and 8 minutes. So giveaway form will go up in probably 40 minutes today. 40 minutes from now. Oh, you have 3. Okay. I think I said if I go back, I think I said he has at least 2. Because I know the 2 that you had at was it Rocky Mountain? Yeah, Rocky Mountain a year ago. No, that was 3D Printopia, not Rocky Mountain. Okay, so we did get that in. So we've got our second limit switch installed. Now it is motor pulley time. Drop the pulleys onto the 4 motors, orient them so the pulley teeth are facing downwards. The ideal position for all the pulleys should be approximately 1 to 2 millimeters above the end of the motor shaft. You can align them later after installing the belts. Ensure that one of the set screws. Cool. Okay, so I'll probably, since it says 1 to 2 millimeters, likely just set my calipers to 1.5 millimeters and use that as a starting point, and then we can adjust as needed. So I'm just going to bring you guys up a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. I guess we could probably zoom in for a sec, but okay, pulleys. Hey, RH3D, how's it going, man? Speaking of the Ender NG, there's been a few people talking about the Ender 3 NG in today's stream. Oops. Okay, so what I am gonna do though, I am going to quickly take out all of the set screws on these and just give them a little dip in. Give them a little dip in some Loctite. So I'll just put the camera down here, I guess. There we go. Hey, Scott's here. Man, everyone's here today. How's it going? I had all the NGs and box turtles in my hotel room. Scott always ends up with a horde of machines. Did Fabrico end up having a booth? Because I know I saw the post on Twitter that was saying something along the lines of like find, I don't know if it said find Hector or find the Fabrico crew, but and like that Fabrico was sponsoring, I think pretty much like all maker tables. But did Fabrico end up having a booth or no? Hey, Tor. If I didn't say hi already, I definitely read your name. Find Delmar. Nice. Does anybody know what the total attendee count was, like, approximately, for the full weekend? I came across this method of impregnating nylon with sodium, does it say silicate? It sounds like it'd be crazy. I'd love to see someone with the ability to test it, to try if you want to give it a try. If you have more info on it and you want to message me, I'm definitely would like to hear more about it. Fabrico sent a note out. They sponsored all the maker tables, and that's freaking awesome. Yeah, I saw that. I did see the message for that. Hope all's well. How's the garden? Dude, garden is going awesome. Planning on printing a hydroponic tower today. Sick. It's funny. I get all sorts of ads now for like gardening. I mean, it's all over the place, right? It's like 3D printing, CNC, gardening stuff, laser stuff, trading card game stuff. Like my algorithm is so very like it's wild. But yeah, it's going really good, man. I ended up getting all the irrigation stuff set up prior to leaving for the trip, which I was very happy about. I am starting hardening off the rest of the plants today. So it's 23 pepper plants, 6 cucumber, 6 more tomato plants, 5 more squash plants. And I think that's it for that. But I've already got a bunch of stuff out there. I just planted yesterday bare root asparagus crowns. They're 1 year old, so I'll still have to wait 2 years before I get asparaguses. But yeah, it's been going good, man. It's been going good. I still have a lot of stuff I need to do, like set up trellises, and I found out that the beans I had purchased and sort of did seedlings of were actually bush beans, not pole beans, which sucks because bush beans are bushes and they basically produce all their beans at once, versus pole beans kind of keep climbing up trellises and producing all season. So I just got in new bean seeds, so I'm good. I'm doing good, man. You'll have to keep me updated on the hydroponics tower, because that's definitely something I've always been curious about. I know that I'm almost positive that 3D Print General has experience with hydroponics setups. I will roll back later, but I heard one of the NG mentions while I had the stream. Okay, cool, got it. Yeah, I can't remember, sorry, I can't remember who it was that was basically saying they had 2 printers and were, debating on doing an NG. But yeah, if you're able to scrub and find it, that would be cool. Okay, so this is still loose, which is fine, but at least I've got one of them on the flat part of the shaft. I need to get some plants for it soon. Do you know what plants you're thinking about doing? I feel like, in general, strawberries grow really well in any sort of tower setup. And I love strawberries, but everyone's got their own preferences, so. Delmar says, no, we did not. We sponsored the Stealth Changer giveaway. Sick. And kind of hid and kept our tools there. Nice. Did Hector make an appearance, or no? He couldn't make an appearance. It makes the nylon rock hard, almost ceramic feeling. Huh. That sounds wild. I don't know that I have it set up to test any of that stuff. It sounds like I need to get... I had a company reach out that makes some scientific instruments, and so I need to reach back out to them and see if they have any tools that would make sense to collab with, so that way I can start doing some other testing. Okay, so right now I'm just basically aligning... I'm not tightening anything, but I'm aligning the 1 set screw on the flat part of each motor shaft. Also, we had shirts. Ah, soft launch, dude. I need merch, man. I need Fabrico merch. Shammy said a while back, I thought that Fabrico was working on some stuff. I gotta hit up Hector. I wore my Fabrico merch in Chicago. I really like the Fabrico merch. Whoever, like, the design's nice, but the shirts themselves too, like, wherever they're, I don't know if they're doing on demand or just ordering a bunch and kind of holding them, but wherever they're getting them made, they're really comfortable shirts. So I wear them all the time. I'm still wanting that custom shirt. Does he have it? I was cracking up when you showed me that. Okay, so I've got everything on. It says that, so we have the teeth facing downward. It says 1 to 2 millimeters above the end of the motor. So I think I'm just going to set these calipers to 1.5 millimeters as a starting point. And yeah, we'll do like, I mean, 1.52, that's plenty close enough. And then we will kind of go from there. I won't put too much thought or effort into it because there's a good chance we'll still have to adjust once the belts are on if we're riding the edges, but to at least give us a baseline, just go ahead and place this right here. Bring that up like that. And yeah, we'll just tighten it down like that. Wait, is this not, okay, there we go. I don't think that even worked the way I wanted it to. That looks like it went up higher, but let me get a shirt in double extra medium. What does that mean? Oh, that might have been right. It might have done it correctly. It seems like it's about right. It looks like it was a little bit deeper, but that's okay. At least this way they're not going to fly off on me, and then, like I said, we'll just probably adjust them shortly here. You around. Do the same on this one. Sorry, the lighting is quite awful from this direction. Hey, Maurice. How's it going, man? Well, we are hanging off the edge of the table. Look at the set screws. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the last one over here. The elbow shot. Someone's gonna comment about my dry elbows. Printed Amsterdam. How cool. I haven't heard of that. Okay. So I think it's belt time now. Everyone knows that's my favorite time. Take the 4-meter roll of GT2 and cut it in half. Okay. I'm gonna do my best to actually cut it in half. That's a lot of belt. Okay. My thumb has been hurting for like the last week. I don't know what I did. It's the bone. It just, I don't know, it feels bruised. Something tells me when I was doing all the irrigation stuff, I was like tightening all sorts of stuff and torquing things down that maybe I don't know, maybe I twisted it or something. I don't really know. But it's been definitely bugging me. Okay. So, scissors. Okay, I think that's good. All right. Repeated strain is no joke. Yeah, it's like right on the bone on this side of my right thumb. And I swore when I looked at it the other day, it looked swollen compared to my other thumb, but I don't know if I'm just imagining it. But yeah, it sucks. Anytime you don't realize like how, I mean, granted, I know I use my hands all the time for everything, right? But you don't realize like how much you need like everything to work well until all of a sudden it's like, wow, my thumb hurts every time I put pressure on it. It sucks. So let's see what I miss. Hey Angel, how's it going? Crush trauma, it's internal, so there are no external signs. Happens to me all the time. Yeah, it must be something like that. I do know that because yesterday when I got home, I checked my irrigation again just to make sure that there was no leaks of the valve, because it was a nightmare to get done, and I wanted to make sure, cool, it's been a week now of it running on and off, let's make sure, and it looked fine. But the jumbo sprinkler valve cover, to open it, I basically have to shove my thumb like in this side to press on the base while I'm pulling on the lid, and every time it does that, when it pops up, it hits that bone right there. So I'm wondering if maybe part of it's from when I was doing it, I did it so many times that from the lid, the sprinkler box valve lid, just hitting my bone like over and over again, just eventually bruised. I don't know. I'm not, I have no freaking idea. But that's my current. I posted a thing of the things we made for printed in chat on Discord. Okay, I'll take a look real quick. Chat. Nice. That's cool. I like that I mean, everything about it is printed. The case, the, not maker coins, maker chips, and then the badges. It looks really good. What did you use for, these look like filament swaps, right? I can see like a slight lift, but like, what did you use for the multicolor stuff? So many ways one can hurt. Yeah. I was talking to my dad about it the other day. Like with the body is such a complicated, it's such a complicated thing. It's incredible that it all even works together at all. So yeah, it looks really good, GPs. MMU3 Mark IV, nice. I've watched it at one point in my life, Kegel. That and you are probably starting to feel the whole getting old thing where minor injuries would bug for an hour or so, but now they stretch out. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case, but you could be right. Some injuries never carefully. Delmar saying to look at what channel? Live streams? Where are live streams? There it is. Oh, cool. I'll show this. Can I? Yeah, I assume I could show you posted publicly. This looks sick. Just G-code? I can't see what the G-code is on here. I need these. I need these for Rico because bad prints happen to good people. Yeah, I really like these. I gotta hit up Hector. Delmar, poke Hector for me. Hector released. Okay, poke Hector. I'll do the same. I feel like putting my ERCF on my V0 would be overkill. What are your thoughts? I think it would be overkill as well. I mean, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it if you have enough of a interest. I would imagine you would need a filament cutter though, right? So you'd have to swap out the, I think your picture looked like you had the what is it? The stealth mini stealth burner, right? Is what you're running on yours look like. So I think you'd have to change your tool head probably to one. I don't know if ERCF has tip forming, but I think that you'd probably need to change it to one that can cut for repeatable results. But it is such a small build volume that, yeah, it's very likely very overkill. But again, like if there's enough interest in it, I've done quite a few things over the years that don't make any practical sense, but I do it for the sake of like, I thought it would be fun, or I think it would be fun. So swap them to the Dragon Burner with cutter. Yeah, that would be my recommendation as well. I really like the Dragon Burner. I really like. Look at next post for Clipper config. Human.cfg, MCU brain, human, John Doe, neurodivergent OS, wake up, alarm time 7 a.m, booting system, running startup sequence, check alarm status, wait for snooze, attempt boot, instant intake caffeines. That's so cool. Work if bladder full or energy full, run caffeine recharge, pretending to be productive, return paycheck. Oh my god. Ay. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but that's hilarious. If you want to like pause on it if you want to read through it, but that's really funny. Okay, let's do this. Take the ends and cut them. Take one end of each belt and feed it through the slit on the back left side of the carriage bracket. It needs to be fed in from the inside. You might need to temporarily remove the bracket from the rail to gain better access. Ensure the belt teeth are facing out. Fix the belt in place with M4x6 button head bolts and M4 penny washers. Where are... I don't know that I have... I mean, I'm sure I do. They're probably near somewhere. Okay, let me find the hardware first, and then we'll get to the belts. M5, M3, here we go. M4. Are these the penny washers? Kind of look like it. M4 washers. What's a penny washer? Does anyone know like how I can differentiate? I mean, it just looks kind of like a larger washer. And these are what? M4 6s. These are small. Where are 6s? Okay, M4 6s. Check. So I've got two washer options, and it looks like it's probably these bigger guys. Let's see. Let me just throw one of these screws on here and see how it looks. Yeah, it's definitely the bigger one. Okay. So it's just the bigger washer. Big washers, yeah. It's got Abe Lincoln. I wouldn't have had to ask if Abe Lincoln was on it, Angel, okay? I would have known. It would have been very clear. So yeah, for anyone that's wondering, I'll just show. It's just a much wider washer. So screw, oh, this isn't looking very good here. All right, so we've got our little M4x6 millimeter screw, and this is the washer. So it's just a very beefy washer. There we go. There we go. Cool. Okay, so let's figure out where these belts are being routed. Fender washer, when you really screwed up the drill sides. Yeah, it's good for patching a mistake. Looks like a number 10 size washer. Okay, so it looks like, based off this picture here, that we're starting on the left side of the servo. So, yes. Okay, so if we zoom in, you can see the right here. Yeah, so teeth go through there and then they get pinched, I guess, by the washer. So we are going to, I wonder if, let's start by just feeding a belt through. Because it did say it might be difficult to get the belt through without removing it. So let's see if it is indeed difficult. Oh, it's almost through. It's almost through. Come on, baby. Up. Okay, let me get needle nose. Okay, that one's through. Cool. That wasn't too bad. Make sure teeth are facing the right direction. They sure are. So I'm just gonna take this belt for it a second and kind of throw it over here. Then let's get our second belt. Tweezers. Yeah, the tweezers I have kind of suck. I always use tweezers for things that are a little bit more aggressive than probably what tweezers are intended for, so they don't end up pinching very well for very long. Okay, the bottom one's a piece of cake to get through. Okay, so let's try to keep these roughly the same distance. That'll make things a little bit easier for us. So I'm going to, hey, how's it going down under? I missed last week's stream because I slept through my alarm. No worries, man. You needed sleep then. Okay. Get a little bit more Loctite. And yeah, we'll open up the giveaway at 2 my time, so in 27 minutes. And this is probably a 2.5mm driver. Sure is. Okay, I'm trying to think about how I can do this and try to keep the teeth count the same on both of these. I'm gonna move you guys a little bit further over here so I've got better access. Here's where I like to use paper clips to temporarily secure the belts in place. That's really not a bad idea. I doubled my ASHD. Any interesting filaments been shown at Murph? I didn't see any. I didn't see any that I like in particular. I did not see any, but that doesn't mean that they weren't any. I guess we'll just do that. We'll pinch that there, and then I guess the first one doesn't matter as much. It's the second one that needs to align with the first one. So let's just try this. It's awkward. All right, releasing it for a sec. Phil gets up in the middle of your night to watch that's dedication. Do you? No, I appreciate it, but I think that aren't you normally awake? Either way, I appreciate you watching, but I don't think that's entirely true. That does not feel like it's going in straight, but maybe it is. I think I'm stripping. That does not feel like it's going in right. I don't like that. Okay, that feels much better. Okay. So that hopefully is tight now. Yeah, it sure is. I do set an alarm, but often to the kids has me. Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it was like early because there's been times where you're watching the stream and you're like, I've got to go either like take the kids or watch the kids or something like that. Or so I knew it was early. How are the kiddos doing, man? Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the second belt length yet either. I'm hoping I can just get this screw in and then get the belt length to match before I secure it fully. But I think I can at least get it in its place. Holy crap. Okay, it's 3. Jackson. Shit, you're awake? Did you just wake up from your nap? Jackson's been doing that every week now, or at least like last 2 weeks where he just wakes up from his nap, doesn't wait for mom, comes here. You gonna say hi to everyone? Hold on. All right. Oh, here he is. Can you say hi? Yeah. What is that? Yeah. Is that a duck? Can you say hi, everybody? Hi. Here, let's make you bigger. There we go. Look it. You show your duck? You show your duck? Show it. Is that a big tree tech duck? Yeah. Is that so cool? Eyes. Eyes? Yeah. What do you mean eyes? Duck. You can probably take the duck now. I don't think this. You can't. Here. This is. You don't put that in your mouth, right? Yeah. No. But don't put it in your mouth. You could probably. You're probably getting to the point where you can take the duck. Did you have a good nap? Yeah. Yeah? Good. You want to press the buttons? Here, you can do one sound effect, okay? Press one of the ones up top, okay? Nope. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Does it squeak? It doesn't squeak. Let me see. Uh-oh, you got a washer stuck to you, buddy. Here, I need that. It's okay. Let me see him. Let's see if he might make a sound. Uh-oh. Wait, let's try it again. Ready? Is it funny? Yeah, press it. Oh. Want me to show you? It's kind of tricky. It doesn't work that well. But if you get it and you hold it like this, right? And you use your thumb and you just go, wait. Well, you can't cover it. If you cover it, it's not going to squeak. Ready? Wait. Okay, here you go. Here. It does squeak. Just not very well. Because do the opposite of what you say. This is true. He says nobody means yes. I know. You help again? It doesn't work that well, huh? You just gotta like, go. Right. Yeah, even Daddy has struggled with it. Is Mommy sleeping? Yeah, is Mommy sleeping? That's. Oh, I think I hear Mommy. Hey, I need that. Ducky. Scissors. Hi. Hi. Why? You safe? You show Mommy what you found? Ducky. All the dogs listening to it go wild. Duck. Okay, well, Daddy's got to get back to work, baby.
If I didn't wake up, he would just up there.
I would have brought him to you. I would have brought him to you. Oh, no, sir. That is not okay. Okay, Daddy's gonna get back to work. Can you say bye-bye to everybody? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. As long as Mommy thinks the duck's okay. I think you're probably old enough where it's probably okay, but Mom's the... No? You think so? Okay. Daddy's gonna hold on to it. It's too small for right now. So Daddy's gonna keep it right here so that way when you come up and visit, you can squeak him, okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Ducky. Bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay. You're swimming today too, buddy. A couple more hours, huh? Love you. Aaron doesn't like him coming up here by himself. We pulled the we got rid of the baby gate because he figured out how to open it, and he figured out how the lock mechanism worked on it. And I feel like he was getting close to the point of climbing over it. And then the final straw was we had like debated on permanently locking it with something like a bungee, but I ate crap a couple times trying to climb over, like late night, coming down at 2 in the morning, trying to climb over the baby gate and like missing the bottom step, or like only getting partial footing on the bottom step. So finally Aaron was like, let's get it out of here. I'm like, yes, please, before I hurt myself. So he's getting big, man. He really is. He's a very tall child. Like he definitely is like height of a lot of the 3-year-olds that we meet. He's very skinny, but like very, very tall. Yeah, he's getting big, man. He's like always learning new phrases and doing new things. Like, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting once his brother's here. He's really good with other kids. Like he generally is really good with sharing with like neighbors and stuff like that. But his cousin was visiting over the weekend. So my sister-in-law, her daughter, so his cousin came in, and her parents, and he wasn't that great at sharing. Like he was being kind of like extra dramatic for attention, and so I'm like, oh man, this is probably a little bit of a peek into kind of what we're gonna kind of be expecting here. So I think that I can count the teeth. I think I need to pull one more tooth out though. Oh, you're gonna need it. Yeah, we will need it again. I know where it is in the garage, but right now, after I did hurt myself, I didn't nearly hurt myself. I did. It was enough is enough with that thing. Okay, so let's see. This one has, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so one more. That's what I thought. Is it even possible to get one more tooth? There we go. Cool. Okay. So we've got both of our belts at least started here. I hate taxes. I don't think anybody likes taxes nice. I'm always, well, that's not true. I'm usually prepared for taxes, but even with that, it's never fun. It's always really time consuming, and that's even with a tax person. Like I have a tax person, but I still have to do all the prep stuff and like basically summarize everything into spreadsheets for them. Siblings are love 1 minute, fight, and next relationship. My daughter has a regular date with the bottom step. Oh no. Yeah, I've got a sibling, a brother that's 5 years younger than me, and I love my brother, but growing up, it's like World War VI in the house. Okay. Fix the belt, we did that, cool. So belt path. The top belt should follow the path around the idler and motors. Okay. So we will start with this, I suppose. Bottom, wait, no, this is the bottom. Okay, the bottom belt path. Should be wrapped around, and then where is it going back into? Is it the same thing on the other side? Okay, so it's basically the same, exact same setup on both sides. So I'm going to grab 2 more of those washers and 2 more of those screws, which were, one more time, they were what? M46 and M4 penny washers. M3, M4 6s. We never put the gate back up for the second child. My clients are the tax attorneys. My clients are tax attorneys. Gotcha. So I just drop off my pay sheets and call it nice. I was just talking to someone else about like second child, because I know that with me, my parents were pretty strict up until a certain point, and I was very rebellious. And when I sort of like broke through that for my brother, he was able to do a lot of other things. Like they were not nearly as strict with language. They were not nearly as strict with like video games or movies or any of that stuff. So I think it's fairly common that the second child kind of has things different or a little, I don't want to say easier, because I'm sure from the second child's perspective, certain things are not easier. Why can't I find these washers, everyone? The M4 penny washers, they're large. I feel like they should be right freaking here, but they're not. Washers. Here we go, got them. First child breaks barriers. Yeah, I think it's got to be a thing. I mean, plus also with like the first child, the parents have no idea, right? Like, we didn't know anything other than me reading stuff on Reddit, getting advice from everybody that wants to give advice, and then, you know, we bought a baby book that we read the first chapter on, so that was basically it. Everything went out the window. Aussie tax system is much less hassle than what you guys deal with. Tax is all okay, got it, all at the federal level. You lodge your deductions via the website and get a bill or a refund 2 weeks later. Yeah, that does sound easier. Okay, here we go. So let's start with the belt path. So we'll do the bottom one first. I'm just gonna pull this up large on here so I can look at it. So if we are going bottom belt path, so let's just get our top belt and I'll bring it forward so it's kind of maybe out of the way. So bottom belt, if I'm looking at it with the servo facing towards me, we're going here. I'm assuming we're not doing teeth on smooth, but maybe we are doing teeth on smooth. Because this to me looks like it's going teeth on smooth idler, and then it's going here. I think it is teeth on smooth idler. So it looks like it goes like this to me. So teeth on smooth idler, and it passes through there, and it looks like it goes like this, and then like this, and then it routes like this. I'm just gonna route this, and then we'll take a look at it and see if I screwed things up or not. I feel like I'm potentially screwing things up. I have to be screwing things up. Man, I wish I could show you a camera angle of what I'm doing right now, because in this moment, all right, so this, so we've got belt on bottom, going around that, going around bottom, so that's bottom, bottom, bottom. This has to be, no, that's top. Okay, got it. So we're going around bottom here. Once I get it done, we'll look at it and make sure that it seems right. It does seem to me that like the teeth of the belt are going on all the smooth idlers, which I've done before. Okay, so now this is going way down here, it appears, to this motor. I'm just gonna go like this, because this is, the camera angle's not doing nothing. Okay. This wraps around there. Comes back through here. I feel like I'm gonna drop this. I am dropping it. Okay, we have fallen, so let's fix that. So this needs to go here. Okay. And then this guy goes back under here. Okay. And then I'm assuming this is probably going back through here. There we go. Okay, but things are loose, so this needs to go over that bearing. So I'm gonna really quickly just make sure everything is seated over what it should be. So that's going over that, cool. That seems to be touching that bearing. That's on the teeth of that. That is not, that's a little low. That seems like it's better. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Yeah, I think we got it. So I'm just going to temporarily put one of these screws in here to hold it all in place. Okay. Music. Oh, is the music done? Sorry, I got the AC right here. So when the music stops, especially the slow music, once we get to the like 8-bit stuff, I have a much easier time hearing. Thank you for letting me know. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about any sort of like teeth or okay, I'm just going to actually drop this for a sec. I just want to secure this belt in place so that way I can focus on the second belt and then worry about the sort of fine tuning in the very end here. So got this. I could really use a third hand right about now. Okay. It doesn't feel like the belts are at an angle, which I don't love. I feel like a printed bracket or something like that could have resolved that, but basically it's hard to show you that they're at an angle, but like on this belt, let me see if I can try to show you. I have my own Spotify playing, studying music. Are you doing school stuff right now or trying to study? Hey, Lisa's here. Lost Side people for just asking to hit like. Okay, so let me see if I can show you where it's like, let's see. Oh, you really can't see that, can you? Maybe if I go from this angle. Yeah, there you can see that. Yeah, the belt is at an angle, so it's not at an angle. It doesn't look like anywhere else, but on the x-axis, or I don't know if it's x or y because of the way the tool head's shaped, but you can see that like from where it comes off of the idlers to where it connects with the tool head, it's at quite an angle. Yeah, I definitely don't love that. I feel like just with a bracket, that probably could have could have been revised, like even a printed bracket. And you can see it too. I didn't realize it at first, but you can see it in here. If you look at this, like, well, it's not the only, like this belt path too is at a slight angle. It's the outer one's straight, the inner one has a slight angle, and then the like inner one is has the most extreme angle. Yeah. I've definitely used printers that have had that before, but if it certainly wouldn't be my preference. Like I would have preferred to have, you know, had things been a little bit differently on this for the belt path. So I'm gonna loosen this just a hair and pull this just a tiny bit tighter. Run a cauliflower and see how much it's out when printing. Yeah, I can do that. I've never actually ran a cauliflower, so that this would be a good. It's still not tight enough, but it's at least a little bit tighter, so we'll leave it for now. Okay, let's focus on getting the second belt in. You could probably insert the belt from the front into the carriage, but there would probably still be some angle. That's a good point. I mean, it would at least remove a few millimeters of it. But if I followed, I just want to see, like, did I do that wrong? No, it is the direction it does tell you to go. Yeah, that's interesting though, because that would remove some of that angle. And I would still think that this washer compressing this belt would be enough, even if it's not teeth on teeth, because yeah, we'll leave it. I mean, it's, you know, again, it's the way that it's designed, but it's an interesting thing to me that's what they ended up doing. So let's get the other belt on. Let's see if we can get them tensioned relatively similarly, and then we'll look at the motor pulleys. So we did bottom belt path, here's top belt path. So I'm just gonna bring camera to me again, because I don't feel like the other camera does anything any better. So okay, so this one we are going like this. Wait, that can't be right. Yes, it can. When you co-stream with Steve, what did you use so the both of you are on camera? We used Skype. And so you can't use Skype anymore because Skype is gone, but we used Skype via NDI. So we called each other on Skype, set up NDI through Skype, and then grabbed that NDI source in OBS. And we had a bunch of different scenes set up through OBS using NDI. Yeah, Teams is what we had planned on using for the next collab stream whenever that ends up happening. But yeah, Teams is what I'd recommend if you're trying to do kind of a similar thing. It's by far, like, we experimented with a lot of stuff, and it was by far the best that we found. Okay, so this needs to go. Wait, this is up top. Whoa, how did I screw this up so badly? It goes like that. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. Okay, so this is going over the top, not down below. Okay, that looks pretty good. I will say that running the belt through these bearings is one of the easier that I can recall running in quite a long time, so I do appreciate that. Okay, so this needs to go up higher. There we go. Right, yeah. This is going like this. That doesn't seem right. Wait. Yeah, okay, so it's going like this. And it's going like this. Yeah, the belt path is definitely easy to access on this thing, which is nice. What? Oh, I guess you can just go over the top of this. There we go. Maybe? There we go. Okay, and then this goes like this. And this goes like this. This one will be a little bit trickier to get the belt through, maybe. Use my... Oh, there we go. Oh, that was easy. Nice. Okay. Okay, so let me get the second bolt in now. And then I'm gonna follow all the belt just to make sure it's over everything correctly. Also, oh, it's giveaway. I'm gonna open the giveaway link. Let's see. Have you looked at the Inertia Cube cool printer? Is that the box turtle one, or the not box turtle, but from the developer box turtle? And messages. Okay, the giveaway link is officially open. Nice. There's 132 people hanging out. Thank you so much. If you have not hit the like button, let's get to 80 likes as a starting point. 80 likes, I believe in. No, that's the AT2. Okay, then yeah, I don't know. I created a monster. My wife borrowed my DJI mic mini, and I was about to meet two I stream with for work, and now I have to go repossess them from her desk before I can stream later. Is she gonna be using them regularly? If you haven't hit the like button, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, here we go. I will change the camera so you can see in a second here what I'm doing. But yeah, for the belts, it was pretty impossible to show anything that was worthwhile. Okay. So our belts appear to be tension. I think the top one needs one more pull. Yeah, top one feels like it needs one more pull. Yeah, my thumb. There we go. All right, let's check out belt paths. Quad trident with a modified monolith gantry using rods. How crazy. No, I have not seen that. Is it pretty much like, is it in the Doom Cube Discord? Is that where it's been shared? I can't remember if I said or not, but there was no extra fees with the Polymaker filament when coming to... Oh, nice. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I posted the GitHub for you in your Discord. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, John. And then Jen Under said she's going to try, but she's going to need to order her own. Okay, so let me one more time just verify. So looking at the top one, the belt is skinnier, so it's going to be able to ride a little bit, but that looks good. Just moving my head in front of you guys. That looks okay. I still might have to adjust things, but I just want to make sure that at least everything is riding within the correct section. That also seems fine to me. This looks good. That looks good. Okay, I feel confident the top one's good. Bottom one I did already check, but what the heck? Let's check it one more time. That looks fine. Looks fine. Good. There, looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Good. Yeah, everything looks fine. Okay, so I don't know as far as tensioning goes. I feel like, is this the only tensioning point? Is this it? Let's see what it says. Pull the belts tight until there isn't any slack. Next, adjust the tension in the belts individually until the gantry sits straight. Use the left, wait. Adjust the tension. Oh, until the gantry sits straight. Our gantry should sit straight if we're tensioning them evenly. Avoid over tensioning as this can result in greater vibrations. Trim any excess, leaving approximately an inch free for future adjustments. Double check pulleys, which we just did. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going to. This is a pretty long distance, but I still think it needs. Like, it feels decent here. Let's start by like just pulling each through. Let's see. I don't want to over tighten it. I think I'd rather have it a little bit too loose at this point. I'll do one last pull. There we go. Okay, that's the bottom, so I shouldn't be strumming that. Everything feels pretty good to me, with the exception being the longest belt path. I feel like that could still be a little bit tighter, but I'm gonna call that good enough right now. And later on, as we go through and play around with things, we can always adjust it as needed. Post a link for printer Discord. I'm excited for this summer. I have 3 big projects going on. I'll be streaming, one of which is the LDO Trident. First Trident, nice. Trident's a really awesome printer, man. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so this is the short path and this is the short path. I don't know that I got the belt the exact same length because based off what I'm seeing here, it just seems like it might be a tooth off. So let me tighten the bottom one now, or let me tension the bottom one. I never paid the taxes on my Magneto X. Do a lot of countries have it where there's, like, we talked about this the other day, but where there's a minimum amount that the item has to be over before you pay taxes? Or is that not a thing everywhere? I don't think I want to tension it more than that. That feels... Yeah, so according to this, we're like looks like one tooth off. Let me see. Yeah, according to this, we're 1 tooth off. But I think that I think that I maybe cut or counted one wrong when I was doing it, because it feels. Well, here. It feels pretty dang close to me. I think this is where I'm gonna leave it. So we'll call this good enough. Anyone see the beefy printer by former Prusa dev? Huh, I don't think I even saw a post of any really beefy printer. I think that I pay around 70% of what I earn on tax. I think at the end I pay around 70% of what I earn on tax. I'm doing a 3D sets build, nice, for a few weeks. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, let's do this. For tensioning, it wants us to check on this side. I feel pretty good about this. I'm a little bit concerned that maybe I over tightened it, but I don't know, man. The shorter belt length definitely feels tight, but the longer ones, to me, like, it doesn't feel excessive. So I'm going to. Curious. Let me just. I haven't felt. Now 2.4 is much looser. I'm gonna check one more printer. I might have overdone it. If I did, I'll back off one. I don't wanna damage the belts. It's never good. Yeah, I'm gonna back off one. Even the Trident doesn't feel that tight. Okay. Oops, that was too many. Okay. I do have a belt gauge. I could just use that, couldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. That's what it's for, isn't it? Yeah. I haven't used it in a while, but yeah, it's a good point. It should be on the wall behind me. Okay. Okie doke. So I'm just gonna use it to see that we're actually even. One sec. There, let me pull up the manual. Belt tuner. The one thing I don't remember is, let's see here. Printer should be cold, the motor's on, which they're not on. Thank you. Ooh, pizza? Yum, thank you. Thank you, babe. Motors are on, which we can't do. Move your tool heads under the tool bags. The one thing I don't remember is the piano wire that it came with. What is on the pizza? It looks like cheese, ham, some herbs, and maybe bacon. It looks like mostly meat. The thing I don't remember is the piano wire that's included with this. This is for tuning it, right? If you need to manually tune it. I don't remember using it before. Like I said, it's been a while since I've used this thing, but I thought that I just... So let's do this one, which is between... So this is 2... So... Okay, there's that one. Which would be the equivalent of this one. That's, yeah, they look pretty damn spot on. Dang, I don't think I can show, here, maybe if I go upside down I can show it. Here, we need to talk. Thank God, a normal pizza. Hey, Benny! Yeah, so I'll try to show this as best I can. I'll just have the device upside down. So, measuring this belt right here. Right now, I don't know what the tension's supposed to be at on these, but I really just want to check for uniformity because I wasn't sure if I had cut the teeth to match. So this is not a really good angle. Oh man, how can I do this? Let's see if I go that way. Here, I'll try like this. It's like awkward because I'm not really, the belt's being pulled in a different direction, but basically putting this on here, and when I have it straight up, it's at 1 tick past the 2. So it's, you have like the hard one, or the big 1, big 2, big 3, then you have, is it 10 ticks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 ticks. So it's at 2, and then the first little tick. And then I took this, and you want to make sure you're matching up the same belt distance area. So this one is between like the pulley on this side and the belt. So for the other side, I went to the top belt, since it's top belt versus bottom. It is the exact same thing. So it's 2-1. So at least I know that, hopefully I cut the teeth correctly, but if I did not, at least I know that my tension is at least really close to being within range of each other. Fun fact, I got a gifted membership in last week's stream and I didn't even make it to the stream. That's weird. I just liked it and hit notify. Huh. I think that Steve had told me that as long as you're maybe subscribed or something like that, that you can get a gifted membership. I don't know. That's a good point, Angel. What Angel's saying is that with this little device, you're supposed to actually, here, let me move the piano wire. So this is the plunger, as they call it. When you have it on, you're supposed to kind of press it, like, you don't have to press it hard, but just kind of tap it a few times. And sometimes it'll kind of settle. Like a light tap will cause it to settle in place, but it's tough to show because again, when I go down like this, it's putting more strain on the wire and changing its tension, but it's close. I did a full video on this where I cover it all, but it's been quite a long time, but it has way better footage and explanation than what I can show with this camera that's far too low, so. All right, 10 more minutes for the giveaway, and then we will do that. So the only thing I really need to do right now is cut the belts. so that way they're shorter. It recommends an inch, so I'll probably leave about an inch. And then I would like to, by hand, move this around a couple times and see how the belts are on these pulleys, because it looks like on this one right now, it's riding the upper part of it. So something tells me I'll have to do some slight adjustment to the motor pulleys. And then I think once we're done with that, I'm pretty sure that's the entire gantry. Then we put the rear panel on, attach the CPAP, and that's basically the end of it. Then we move on to tool heads. I'm gonna eat one more piece of pizza just while it's fresh, everybody. It's kind of funny. I don't think Erin heard us talking about pizza earlier, because I think she was sleeping when Jackson was sleeping. But it's just something about pizza in the air today. I'm gonna take a quick look through this. I tension by ear as I know the sound I'm listening for my music days. Man, I wish I could do that. I cannot tension by ear. Fast, okay, so. This is gonna take a while doing the 3 tool heads. The smell of cold pizza in the morning. Oh, nice. Sorry, Alan. Sorry. Okay, so then we're flashing our image file. I'd say we still have quite a few streams left. Flashing the remaining print heads, activating print heads. At least he isn't doing banana sandwiches anymore. I used to love cold pizza. Yeah, I don't love... Oh, it's Sicilian. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't love cold pizza anymore. I used to have it a lot. Growing up, I was stoked to open the fridge and just chow down on a cold pizza. But for the most part now, I prefer toaster oven. But if I have to, even nuking, it's better than cold. But I guess there's probably some pizzas where there's an exception to that. But for the most part, that's where I'm at. Okay. I'm going to just take some scissors and I'm going to cut Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know that I really care at this point about the teeth. Because I already think that I'm slightly off, at least by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we'll just cut it down to like there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What's that? Right there. Okay. So I've got that done. Now I'm just gonna take my hand and kind of move. You could turn this a little bit so that way you can at least see what's going on from here. There we go. I was never really a fan of pineapple on pizza until I had some with green chili and thick cut bacon. That sounds really good. Okay, so let's just move this around. For just about all of them, I would say they need to go up higher. Wait, I'm lying. So it looks like this side needs to go. I think I'm just gonna manually do this. We'll just adjust them as on the fly. So this one looks like it needs to go down. Okay, that one looks okay to me. It's definitely not even, but it's at least closer. But I have a feeling that when I adjust the other one, it's going to have an effect on it, so I don't really know that I want it perfectly centered either. Let's just drop them a hair. That might have been a little too much, but it looks pretty close to where I have this one. How to desecrate a pizza. Hey man, different strokes for different folks. Okay. Let's see if I move it, my finger doesn't want to fall back to the bottom. I don't know. I'm gonna adjust these ones now and then we'll look at it again. So this one, these ones need to go higher based off what I'm seeing here. Which is interesting, so they're not even. Weird. I can't understand why the diagonal ones wouldn't be even if they're mounted at the same height. It's interesting to me. Green chili, how about same strokes for different folks? Hey, as a pineapple pizza lover myself, let's see if that works. That is way more than 2 millimeters off though. Like the set screw is hovering around the top of it. Okay, that's because I overkilled that. I didn't need to go that high. Let's drop you back down. Let's say that feels pretty dang high. Okay, let's try that. That feels a little better. Okay. This one can still... Wait. No, this one does want to go higher. But it's not rubbing, so I think I'm just going to leave it. This one also definitely wants to go higher. And I think I'll let it go a hair higher. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, the belts are definitely... So, the belt on here is towards the bottom. As I come this way, it starts climbing towards the top. Not exactly sure why. And right now, this one is towards the top. And as they go that way... Is it? Wait, it's probably because these... it's probably because it's all-wheel drive. So these are kind of the diagonals. So that looks like it's staying perfectly still for the most part. This one feels like it probably can drop down a hair more. I have a feeling it has to do with the all-wheel drive stuff. So I might just leave it at this. And then just keep an eye on it once we start actually printing to make sure I'm not seeing any edge wear. This one definitely is the one that travels the most though. It's that one's definitely not rubbing anymore. That one seems okay as well. Yeah, the only one I have any concerns with really is this one. This one right here. It just seems to want to... Yeah, when I go that way, it drops down a lot. I can raise this last one a hair more. I'm not going to. I'll keep a lookout. If I start getting edge wear on the belt, then I'll know. But right now, let's just leave it and see. Okay, let's call it good enough. Also, giveaway. Oh snap! It is time. It is time. So 1 more minute on the giveaway. If you're filling it, if you haven't clicked on it, click on it. It's in the description. God, I can't talk. It's in the chat. I'll leave it up for 1 more minute, and I'll take it down, and I'll give you 1 more minute to fill it out if you're actively filling it out. The detail adjust is going to need a huge margin on it by the looks. You mean based off how it looks right now? Yeah, it's definitely very crooked. Okay, so next step looks like it's installing back panel, which is all just M4 T-nuts and M4x8 button heads, and it looks like this. Is it the black piece? It is the black piece. Everything else is clear. Or no, actually there's 2 black pieces. So this appears to go like this. Yes. This is gonna be going like this. Good enough to print on. You're gonna need you're gonna need a pretty big brim, or I guess not even a brim, or maybe a raft. You can tell where he leans on it. Imagine. It's funny, before the stream, or maybe it was before I took the picture for the thumbnail, like, I done my best to just eyeball it and make the bed look nice and even. And then, because I needed to move it today to get access to that nylon lock nut, I just quickly turned them, and now it looks pretty jank. I'm gonna peel this side. Okay, I'm removing the link. So if you're filling out the form, you've got another 60 seconds. Let's see. There we go. I need a raft big enough to float on 7 seats. Is the Ston a kit? I don't know what the Ston is. It's part of the self-clearing bed package. Yeah. It's not a bug, it's a feature. I am ripping this not very clean. There you go. It's a disaster. Does the heat gun help with removing acrylic covers? I've never done that before. Sometimes I feel like there's different adhesives used. I know that the brown paper stuff seems to always tear really easily on me, while the clear acrylic sometimes will have a clear sheet over it, and that stuff I can usually peel off way easier. Steve showed that. Huh, that is very cool. You just blast the entire thing before and then go at it, or you do it section by section? I'll have to try it. The heat guns, I think, oh, it's right here actually. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try the other side then. Section by section, got it. Yeah, that's super cool. I've never thought to use it. Okay, I got one side down the painful way. We'll try the other side with the heat gun then. Okay, giveaways going on. Let's do this. We have got 97 entries. Very nice. So make sure I'm not showing anybody's stuff. 97 entries. Control C. There we go. Got everybody. Did we hit? How many likes did we hit? 80? 75. 80 was the 80 was the minimum goal of likes. If you have not hit the like button, do so now, so we get to, let's get to at least 80. All right, and I did say that last week I would not choose the number this week, so let's get some numbers. Let's get some numbers in chat for the amount of times we're gonna shuffle it this week. Then I'll do the usual thing. So For anyone that hasn't been here for a previous giveaway, the winner will get an email from me within 24 hours, and that email will just have a form and a unique code that you'll need for that form to be able to get your Polymaker gift card. And yeah, massive thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these awesome giveaways. And if you are wanting to pick up some Polymaker filament and you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description that doesn't increase the cost or anything like that, but it does allow the channel to get a percentage of the sale. So it's very appreciated, and yeah, massive thank you to everyone that's been doing that. Okay, let's see what numbers we got here. 87, 21, 7s is, I feel like 7s, 6s are always getting 12, 13, 67, 4 and or 2. Let's do 13. Oh, you're spamming 13. I thought you were so... Okay, no, Brian did say 13 as well. We'll do 13. 13 it is today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't think that clicked. 11, 12, 13. That was weird. It didn't take one of the clicks. Okay. Good luck to everybody. And here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Gundams 145. You are... Oops, I changed the camera. Congratulations to Gundams, you are our winner. I don't know if you've won before. I feel like that name sounds so familiar, but it's also Gundam, or like Gundams, which maybe I'm just thinking of Gundams. Either way, congratulations. I will send you an email this evening with the giveaway link and the code for today's giveaway. Words are tough today. So thank you everyone for entering. Thank you to Polymaker again, and we will do the same thing next week. So let's try to at least get the back panel on before we end up calling it for today. I'd like to finish this section so that next week we're just straight up building tool heads. Oh, speaking of Gundams, I got my Japanese base set in today. Nice. I don't know much about Gundams. Like, I know that they're little, like, mechs, and I've seen them my whole entire life, and I think they look pretty freaking sweet. But yeah, I don't know much about them. Like, I don't know the lore for Gundams. Like, is it based off of a comic? Is it based off of sort of like, is it a show that we used to? I don't know. I used to like building kit cars when I was very little, but the amount of time and like intricacy of some of the Gundams I've seen, I feel like it's kind of over my the amount of patience I have. I don't know that I could do it. Okay, so let's try this. I don't have the ability to adjust heat on this. It's just basically spray and pray. Well, let's just try like one of these corners where there's a lot. Any idea of like how long or short it needs to be on? I imagine it has to be. Now the AC is kicking on, so it's going to instantly cool it down. That's tearing. I also don't want to start a fire. Are we sure it works well? It's feeling about the same as without. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, buddy? Thank you so much for the donation. For the no benchy yet fun. Yeah, no benchy yet. Man, we got to build 3 tool heads next week, so see how long. Luckily, because they're all the Orbiter V3s, I think it'll be a pretty quick assembly, but still, like the wiring of it and all the configuration. It'll still probably take a while. You can be a lot more liberal with the heat than that. Got it. How was Rocky Mountain, man? I don't know if this is the best heat gun for this. It's definitely like, I like this thing a lot. It's great for heat shrink. I've used it for my irrigation stuff. It's great for removing some little strands of, you know, stringing, but it's definitely not the strongest compared to like my big one that I have that is not battery powered. I might need to try this again with a more powerful heat gun, because it's not in this short distance. I feel like by the time I've heated this whole thing up, I could have just peeled it the way I do it. It was awesome. We definitely missed you. Yeah, I'm sad. I mean, there was no way possible that I could have gone, but it looked freaking epic. It looked really, really cool. Man of the Croc, thank you for the 50 months. Bad cold today. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Just seasonal, like seasonal cold, you think? Still gotta do sound effects for you. Knock on wood, this year I haven't really caught anything. The only thing I've been dealing with is just, you know, my usual allergy crap, but the nasal spray has been an absolute just miracle. Okay, so I will say this, that just pulling from this cold side, pulling from this big cold side to this corner that I've had at least some heat on, it does feel like there's less resistance. I will say that. It still seems to be tearing quite easily, but it does feel like there's less resistance from the adhesive on here. I splashed out $10 US on AliExpress gun. It's got 2 heat modes and cooldown timer. It's been great. I might need to get one of those. I like the having the no cables. It's really convenient, especially for this stuff. Maybe it doesn't matter quite as much, but for, you know, when I was outside, not having to have a power cable is awesome. But I might need to pick up an AC one just for a little better. The altitude didn't treat my bronchitis well. Still worth it though. Yeah, I know you had mentioned, I think it was on last week's stream, that you had like tested because you weren't sure if you had COVID or like what it was, because, and I think you said it was just, it ended up not really being anything. Wait till the little guy goes to school. You'll have every bug on this earth. One of my coworkers has kids that are older than, you know, Jackson, and it feels like the plague is always going through his house. It's part of the reason why, like, I really have, like, as long as we can, have no interest in putting him in daycare. Like he goes out and plays with neighbor kids and stuff, and, like, you know, gets germs and plays on public parks and all that stuff, but just the amount of absolute just sickness going through little kids, you know, like daycares and stuff is wild. Ladies and gents, I'll go to sleep now. Have a great day, night, morning, afternoon. Hey, thank you so much, Glock, for hanging out. Daycare means less actual school. Less lost. Wait, daycare means less lost actual schooling time. I don't know what that means. I think the rest of these are pretty much, other than one, just the clear peel. So this will be a much quicker process. I'm gonna try to hit this though, because it's tearing like crap. Yeah, daycare is not preschool. It might be different to I'm sure it's different in Australia, but yeah, I think the goal is we're gonna have Jack go into preschool, but he has to be. They build their immunity in daycare so they don't lose real school fighting bugs. I would say that's probably partially true, but I also don't think that they need to get every sickness ever to have a good immunity. But yeah, the plan is to get him into preschool once he's of age. Okay, that definitely peels way easier on these little sections. I think part of it too is my stupid thumb, man. It's hurting. It's harder to dig into this acrylic today, or into the film. This doesn't want to tear nicely. Yeah, I think it's 4 here. We were looking at a charter school that's pretty close by, and it's all lottery based as far as if you can get in or not. And I'm pretty sure that the rule was that the baby had to turn 4 that year, something like that. Okay, I think this stuff is just, for some reason, a little bit tougher to peel than normal, because I swear I've peeled a lot of acrylic, and this is just not coming off well. Alright, come on. Dude, this stuff is not coming off well. It's also matte. Like, the matte side, it seems to be tougher than the gloss side as far as removing this crap. It's wild. Printing ABS in my office while it's over 90 outside is fun. Apparently 84 in the office. Ugh. That does not sound nice. Adam! 18 months. How's it going, buddy? It looked like ProForge had a pretty big ProForge had a pretty big amount of people there, right? Like for the ProForge crew or the booth. Hey, Nick. This shit, Murph. Yeah, I know, man. Believe me, every time I saw a photo get posted, I'm like, it was like having flashbacks to last year. I'm glad it was a good time though, man. How'd things go at the ProForge booth? I know that it was at Rocky Mountain last year, where it was like celebrity being at that booth. Like it was always full of people. I cannot believe I'm still peeling the same piece of acrylic. Okay, I'm just gonna blast this last section with heat and then go for it. All right, last time. My table faced the back of the Lightroom booth. They were busy. Oh, really? That's cool. I think that they were probably engraving badges, right? I think that's what they've been doing for a little while with the little CNC machine. Little do you know that the next stream will not be building till no. There's only one more. There's only one more in this black acrylic that I'll probably just pre-peel, and then I'll check one of the clear ones. And if for some reason it's a struggle to get it off, I'm just gonna pre-peel all this. I'm not gonna have you guys. This is worse than heat inserts, man. I'm not gonna have you guys just watch me peeling all stream next stream. I won't. Yeah. We're down to like the final little section here. Oh my god, come on, can we get you? Nope, of course not. Even you had to tear. All right, I haven't gotten to use this sound effect.
That was easy.
Okay, let's get this panel on. Not maintenance. Okay. All of this is just M4 T-nuts and M4 by 8 button heads. So I feel like we're gonna need a lot more M4 by 8 button heads than I'm seeing. M3s, M4 by 8 by 15s, M4 by 20s, M4 by 6s. Are these in a different bag because there's so many of them? Oh, there we go. These are all M5. M4 by 8 button heads. There has to be a ton of them somewhere. Definitely not in here. M4 12s, M4 12s. I don't understand. Like, I need 1, 2, 3. I mean, at least 10 of them. I definitely don't see 10 of anything. We have the T-nuts we need. Oh, you know what? I think there's a separate bag. Yeah, this has got to be it. It's all enclosure stuff. That's the reason why. At least it wasn't me. I mean, it was me. I didn't pull out this stuff, but it wasn't with the regular fasteners. Yeah, big old bag. So I think we'll just pull out. Yeah, 10. We'll just pull out 10 and then put the rest back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. No, these are M5 by 8s. Okay, ProForge was awesome. Adam had his own maker table too. Nice. Taco truck at Murph has some of the best tacos I've ever had, and I'm from southern New Mexico. Was it do you know the name of it? I mean, a lot of the taco trucks, at least around here, the names aren't like super stand out-ish. They're kind of generic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so these all go back in here, and then this goes back in there. I just don't want to. I don't want to mix the enclosure stuff yet. Okay, we're doing the thing. So then the next question becomes: do we want a glossy facing inward, or do we want matte facing inward? I would think my preference, I think, is gonna. Wait, we don't have an option. It has to follow this. Okay, matte facing inward it is, which is what my preference would have been. I don't mind gloss, but it just shows so much fingerprints compared to. Let's move. I don't have space here. Yeah, we're doing matte. It's not an option. just gonna go ahead and start these on all these holes. Yeah, gloss is fine, but it just, I don't know, it shows dirt and fingerprints, and sometimes I don't want to see the reflection of things. So I really like it as well. I think the only, oh, it looks like, no, those are ACM panels, I think, on the 2.4. This Cyborg switch wire was using matte acrylic for all of it, and I liked it a lot. I think that's the main build that I've done that's just shipped with matte acrylic. I think I don't know if LDO uses matte acrylic at all, but I know that they use like the ACM or ABS panels that are, you know, that are matte, or at least more matte than the gloss acrylic. Spray paint it with a decal. Come on, dude, why is this not? Is this a bad T-nut? Not bad. Oh, okay. Nope, that's not the right size driver. This acrylic panel has by far been the biggest time spent on anything on this stream today, which is wild. I lived for a while in El Paso. I've been, most of my time in Texas has been airports, like just passing through. I want to say that maybe when I was a lot younger, I visited. There was like a trade show I was supposed to work in, I think San Antonio, but didn't end up going on that one. It would be cool to visit Texas. Like we were at one point considering living there before we ended up in Idaho. We were looking at a few places, and then it just, the heat ended up being a big factor for why we ruled out a lot of those places. But I remember us looking at Texas. Why is this slipping? Is it a bad screw? That's odd. Some of these screws seem to have bigger... Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm just tripping. Weird. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's super odd. A couple of the screws need a 2.5mm driver, and then the rest of them need a 3mm driver. They must have been sourced from two different places and got mixed together or something. A lot of screws. New Mexico has some fantastic carne, what is that? Carne odivada? Sopes, like pillows of corn. Jeez. What is that? Carne adobada. I don't know what that is. I don't think that's a typo for carne asada. Okay, we are nearly there. Kind of. Oh, panels. Panels. Everybody loves panels. Panels, panels, panels. Okay. It's sold here as pulled marinated pork. Oh, it's pork. Got it. I don't know that I probably have had it, but definitely not as much as, like, carne asada is usually my go-to for anytime we go to pretty much any Mexican restaurant. But I have had some really good pork, so it's marinated pork. Got it. Okay, let's get this on. Let's get this on. I need this in a second here. These are all going on the top. Like that. Like that. These ones are going vertical. This one is also going vertical, it looks like. This one's like that. Okay, I don't think these are all going to just slot in because that's not my luck. But okay, that seems decent enough, kind of. Oh, it's the one that's the one that's a different screw size. Yeah, maybe I'll try it next time I go to the... There's a place out here... Well, there's a few places out here that we've discovered that we like for Mexican food, but there's a fairly local spot called Jalapenos that I usually just get their carne asada street tacos, but maybe I'll see if I can get those next time. If they have it. I mean... New Mexico style is like chili verde, but it's in red sauce. I just had pizza and I'm suddenly hungry for Mexican food. Why is this not going in? Does not seem to be tightening correctly at all. Why? Is it not the right screw? Is that the issue? Maybe they didn't have different screw sizes and this is an M5 screw? That's starting to become my theory. Let's try this instead then. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's totally what happened. That screw, they didn't have two different style screws. That screw was not the right screw. It was an M5. I'm thinking we get Chipotle after swim. I put the bacon in the freezer. I can go for Chipotle. I can go for Chipotle. Okay, I think I probably should loosen all these in a sec here and just kind of slide this to make it a bit more centered. It's definitely not centered, but It's on. I don't think I see any gaps. I've got so much. My feet are just covered in that brown tape. It's gonna take me a while to clean all this up. But yeah, at least these are all, is this tight too? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like pretty much flush with this side of the machine, but on this side of the machine, there's a pretty big gap. So I don't know how much it really matters at this point. Maybe it's not even worth correcting until all the panels are on. Yeah, we were gonna do BLTs. I love BLTs, man. It's definitely it's up there for me. Unfortunately, Georgia isn't known for having good Mexican food. They really tailor it to the I'm afraid of foreign foods. Oh, that's a bummer. That's definitely a bummer. Yeah, this side feels lined up pretty nicely. So it's aligned. The whole thing is just kind of shifted. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna matter for anything. I mean, that hole is nowhere near centered. Is it? If it's supposed to be centered? Wait, no. I don't think it matters. It looks beautiful. I don't think it matters. Unless it does. Unless that's like where a cable needs to get fed through. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. Okay, so we did that. Got it. So it's just for spacers. So I think we're gonna be fine. I will very likely before I clean this printer up after today's stream and like move it, just to do this last section. It's basically just some T-nuts, standoffs, attached CPAP, a little bracket for the hose to zip tie onto, and then a little zip tie section at the tool head, or at the, yeah, like the tool head. So I'll likely just do this, and then next week we will basically be just building these 3 tool heads. I think that's going to be the plan. So the good news is that we are done with like the gantry section, although we still have more gantry stuff to do, and it went relatively well. My biggest kind of question mark is I don't love that the belts are pretty not straight, not parallel. Like they basically aren't, is that the word? They're not parallel. That's not the word I'm looking at. They're not straight. They basically, when they attach to the axes, they're at a different angle. Like it doesn't want to naturally go straight. So there's sort of a pull towards a different direction versus it riding exactly smooth. Perpendicular. Thank you, Hasios. It's not perpendicular. The parallels did not sound right. They are parallel. They're not perpendicular. And then the only other thing is that one of the pulleys seems to ride up quite a bit when it travels from one side to the other. I don't know that that's going to be an issue, but it's definitely at least something I want to make note of, so that way I am looking to see if I notice any sort of wear being caused from it. But other than that, like routing the belts was really simple. Yeah, there really wasn't anything else that was bad. So next week we will continue with the tool heads. It seems like the main things are, it was tool heads. Let's do one last little look through here. Yeah, so we know we have tool head assembly. I want to check one more time. So wiring, we've already done a lot of the wiring. This is just USB cam, the motors. Yeah, most of the rest of the wiring, and attaching the screen, which is nothing. Like it's a really quick, and then clipper flashing. Cool. So we're getting there. As far as hardware goes, it's basically 3 tool heads and some of the final wiring. But if anyone wasn't here, like I know a few people didn't get to see the earlier streams, like this build has you do the electronics really early on. So we have already done, yeah, it's just a cable. We've already done most of the wiring. Like it's mostly done. So that's a good thing, is that once we get the tool heads in, other than hooking up like the USB hub for all of them, there's not going to be a whole lot of wiring and placing of things we have to do. So it's really just tool heads, a little bit of wiring, and then hopefully we can start playing around with this thing. Yeah, it didn't turn out that bad, right? Like, it's not, don't get me wrong, Tuxedo, like, the camera is a little bit of a distance away. Like, if you saw it up close, you'd probably be like, yeah, it's not that pretty, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I've built things where it's like, this is a step in the right direction. I did take some time to make that, you know, try to look a little bit cleaner, but yeah, it's definitely, it's functional. It's functional, that's for sure. So, have a good one. Chinese food has landed. Nice. Enjoy your Chinese food, buddy. Yeah, I think we will call it there then. I feel pretty good about the progress we've made. We are going to be toolhead bound. We'll probably just try to do like an assembly line. Sorry, I got something stuck to my leg. we'll probably try to do an assembly line of all 3 toolheads at the same time next week. That way we're not like watching me do the full thing and then watching me do the full thing again and then again. I think it'll be a little bit more enjoyable if we just kind of do all 3 at the same time, if that's possible. So that'll be the game plan, is do all the tool heads next week, and then I would love to be by not next week, but the following week, at least having this thing and running through calibration and stuff like that, like flashing calibration and all that stuff. So we'll see. We've definitely still got some more streams though. Based off of just the documentation on the calibration side of things, it's not going to be just turn it on and like multi toolhead printing. It's going to take us a little while, but it'll be sweet. My card tried to blow up. Jeez. Pizza is in the oven. Oh, I hope you are all right, Mike. Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it as always. Really enjoy hanging out. Build one pre-stream for us, Sanity, then build the couple with us. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think from what I saw, it didn't look that complicated, but I'll take another peek at it next shooter. So not to scroll, look at live streams for messing with Justin at RMRRF. Wait, is it the vlog? Yeah, it is. Here we go.
Are you coming? Well, they're waiting for you. You guys get right line on that? Oh, let's go from there.
Oh, dang.
Good effort there, Justin. Let's give him a slow clap.
I think this guy will. Yeah, this guy.
Wow, the dragster is fast. Oops. That's gonna get me blocked. Bottom left hill going back up. It's awesome. Okay, all right, everyone. I'm gonna call it. I've got to get off, do a few things, and then we've got swim lessons in a little while. So thank you all for hanging out. Congratulations again to our winner. Thank you to Polymaker for letting us do the giveaways. Thank you to all of our new members, existing members, all of the gifted memberships, as well as the donations. And then, as always, just thank you to everyone for joining me on your Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever time of day and whatever day and time it is for you in the world. Thank you for joining me on these streams. It's a lot of fun. So I hope everyone is doing awesome. Down Under Maker is streaming in 4.5 hours. I hope you can get some sleep prior to that. And yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Stay awesome, and I will hopefully have a video this weekend. I'm working on it, and it's with me traveling this for Chicago. It was a little bit tricky, but I was able to do a little bit of stuff on the laptop, and so I'm hoping I'll have the video done by this weekend. So keep a lookout for that. Okay, bye everyone.